All right, folks. We back in the lab, back in the studio. Captain's Log Podcast, episode 31. I got family on here with me. I got my cousin, Shawn Richardson. What's happening?
What's going on, cuz? I finally get to be in the stew.
Well overdue, huh?
Well overdue. First of all, the level of professionalism in here is out of control. It is out of control. Like, are you sure that we're not in the real stew?
Shit, I ain't getting no studio money, I tell you that. We just in here, man. But how you doing? How's everything? How's the family?
I mean, I can't complain. It's 2021. You know, the first 7 days made me want to return my free trial subscription.
You ain't lying.
Because it's out of control.
Shit been crazy. You know, when that whole shit happened with the storming of the Capitol, man, I had made a comment about it on my Instagram story, which is usually when I just want to say some shit quick.
Yeah.
But I had got a lot of folks like, man, you should have made an episode on that shit. But it was like after it was brought to my attention, I kind of felt like I had missed my mark because a lot of people had already said everything that I wanted to say as far as, you know, the shit, you know, how it went.
Yeah. Well, the thing is a lot of times is whether other people talk about it or not, it's about individuality. The way that they say it probably wouldn't be the way that you say it. So you probably should have still did it.
Yeah, I should have. But fuck that. We ain't talking about that. So we talking about podcasting.
Absolutely.
You know, you getting into podcasting.
Up and coming.
You got some shit cooking in the oven. You know what I'm saying? About 400 degrees. About time for you to pull it out.
Listen, it's baking. And it's going to be fire when it come out.
So what you need to know? I can give you what I got.
So, first of all, what I don't have is all of these things.
The setup, yeah.
This is lit. But I just want to kind of know, like, what was the process of you starting it? What kind of made you want to do it? How you feel about where you at now? Like, stuff like that. That kind of helped me in my journey.
Okay. All right. So this all started for me. This was in the summertime. You know, I was applying for a job, government job, and I felt I was a shoe-in, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, people had kind of slid me the proper shit I needed to get in.
Yeah.
The interview was just a formality. Just to go through the process. The job was mine, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I didn't get it.
It was yours on paper?
Well, no. But I mean, like, it was everyone who needed to put the sign off to say he's with me now was like, you good.
Yeah.
But then they got this thing where if it's not enough applicants, they can take the position back and then resubmit it. I guess you got to have a minimum amount of applicants for a vacancy for the government.
Gotcha.
So they took it back. So, you know, I was real fucked up in here. Like, I was depressed. I was just like, man.
I can understand.
I'm like, you know, I done went to school for this shit. They sent me to classes, you know what I'm saying? Paid for classes for me to go for 4 years, for me to finally get in this position, and them to say, nah, we're not fucking with you.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, this some bullshit. So after that, you know what I mean? There was always talks, you know, with me and the wife, like, you know, you should do a podcast. And, you know, I was always like, yeah, you know, you're right. You know, my man was like, you know, man, do the business thing first. And I think just him continuing to say that was kind of deterring me because I was like, well, shit, you got to get this money together. You know what I'm saying? But after that whole thing, the wife, you know, she came to me and she was like, where the fuck's the podcast? Like, let's stop moping and let's get that shit off the ground. So
we can always count on her to pull
hell
through.
Yeah. The wife always on my case. So
always.
I'm like, all right. So I went on Amazon, impulse buy, and just bought the first little Amazon podcasting for dummies kit I can get.
Right.
You know, which was 2 condenser mics, the little arm stand joint that go on the table, and some earphones.
Got you.
And I went to Anchor.fm because they was free. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, I can't possibly be paying somebody a monthly fee for some shit I don't even know if I'm going to do. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So then I started it. You know, I said, I'm going to do an intro, and then I'm going to do a Father's Day because it was in June.
Right. So
I was like, I'm going to do a Father's Day. I think that'll really reel him in. So initially when I started, you know, I didn't know what sound quality was. I didn't know what a condenser dynamic mic was. I didn't know shit. I just knew that I probably had a solid 100 to 150 listeners a day when I was doing my Captain's Logs on the way to work. And that's how I came up with the name. At
On
first,
Instagram, right?
Yeah, at first
Okay.
I didn't know what I was gonna call it. And my man, he was like, bro, it's gotta be Captain's Law. You've been screaming that shit for like 4 or 5 years. So
I remember seeing them every day.
yeah.
Every
So
day.
this
The
shit
things
was
you
clutch.
saw was out of control.
But I was just like, and that's another issue I'll get to down the line as far as, going back and forth to work.
Gotcha.
But so I started it. And I was nervous, dog. I was in I was in the other room on the other side of the house by myself. You know what I'm saying? And the room wasn't painted. It was just a table. It was just a fold up table, fold up chairs, and it was just me. But this is the only when I was just doing audio, and I just talked. And I was like, finally, first time coming. I want to thank X, Y, and Z who gave me the inspiration to do this.
Right.
And then from there, went into the Father's Day episode.
Right.
And I was deep in that shit because I feel real strongly about fathers. I feel real strong about fathers, dadhood, all that shit. And,
As you should. I do too.
Moms too, but the dads, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm a dad.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of support, though. I got a lot of fucking support. And once I knew that, it's some folks out there listening. And that's when I just stuck with it. And I just made it my business to try to just stay on top of the research. You know what I'm saying? Just really try to be a student of the game so I won't get left behind because, myself and a couple of other 100,000 people started podcasts as well during the pandemic.
Yeah.
So
when you put out that first episode, how did you feel?
nervous.
Yeah. So that nervousness came from what? Were you nervous about what people would say?
Just wondering, just wondering the comments, the fear of failure,
Gotcha.
the fear of me not sounding the same as I did when I just was doing it naturally.
Right.
Just walking, something quick. It's like now I'm in a set and I'm putting this shit out to the world, not just people that know me.
Gotcha.
So that right there is just like, fuck, am I gonna make it? You know what I'm saying? And you look at other famous podcasters.
Yeah.
Your Gilly the Kids, your I Am Athletes, your Joe Rogans, your Donnell Rollins, and these people are already famous.
Yeah.
So it's like
podcasts.
When you just a nigga coming off the street trying to do this, it's like, I know a lot of people, but it's like, are they gonna listen though? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I definitely understand that.
So listenership is important because. If that shit don't kick in after a while, you'll feel like you're talking to yourself.
Exactly.
And that's why it got to a point where I prefer to have guests.
Right.
Because you can only talk by yourself, but so much. You know what I'm saying? I think I talked for like 30 minutes by myself, and I'm like, how the fuck did I do that? Now, if I do something quick, that shit'll be about 10 minutes, bro. It'll be a snippet or something, though. Because it's just like, you in a room talking to yourself, like, you know what I mean?
So in terms of consistency, how do you manage that? Because everybody have day-to-day life and issues and things like that.
that shit got to be scheduled like everything else. If you got to get up and go to work at this time every day, then that's what you do. If you go work out these days, I used to record Sundays. I record today.
I'm glad you said that.
I record today and then dress it up and then have it go out Monday.
Gotcha.
But the problem I'm running into was I would have shit going on, you know what I'm saying? Or the games will be on, football will be on.
Yeah.
Or, I'm at a track or something. And I'm coming home like, fuck, I still got to record. So I come home tired and then I don't want to record. So it's like now my body of work is not that good because I just threw it together. There was a lot of times where I may have had a guest supposed to come on and something happened. And now I just got to put some shit together.
Right.
And it's like, well, my listeners don't really deserve that. You know what I'm saying? So now I record Wednesday nights, and that way I got all that time to dress it up and send it out. And then it's like when you start doing video, that's a whole different beast.
A whole different lane. I don't think that with my podcast that I'm gonna start doing that, because I feel like podcasting is in the same realm of being like a radio personality. So for me, I just want people to listen to what we're talking about as opposed to looking at us. Because I'm something to look at, not to be funny. Here we are. But I like that you started yours with the videography.
No, I know it was just audio at first.
Well, by the time I found out that you was actually doing a podcast regularly, because I would see you posted on your Instagram and stuff, and I was like, what the hell is Captain's Log? Like, and then you had changed like your profile picture to your actual what is it called on the podcast? What is
Cover
that
art.
picture? Your cover art. And I was like, cuz look fly shit in this little photo, but what the fuck is going on, right? So when I finally, by the time I started, because of course I follow you on because I listen to my podcasts on Apple Podcasts.
Okay.
So I follow you on there, but by the time I did, you was already doing a videography part of it, and I was like, this is definitely not my lane. Cause like, yeah, I look good, but I really want people to listen to what I'm saying, because a lot of times you go through life and you feel like people don't hear what you're saying, and you feel misunderstood. So therefore, I would rather you hear me than see me, because I mean, looking at me, you might want to talk to me, and nobody wants to deal with all that. That's a lot of pressure. And I apply a lot of pressure.
Yeah. I mean, it is hard, dog, because you're trying to gain that attention span. You know what I'm saying? And for me, even as a podcaster, I can't look at nobody's shit longer than 10, 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Like their videos or the
video. I mean, even listening, like, if I was going to work, I'll be listening to full podcasts every day, but I'm home. So it's like, I'm in the living room or I'm in the basement. It's like, I don't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I would more so want to see it, but still then I'm not going to look at it. Like, once I put an episode out, I go through, make a couple clips for some promo shit, and it's in the wind. I don't listen to it. I may go back and listen to it later down the line if I want to put some throwbacks on, which is actually something that I don't do. Put throwback clips for other episodes, the episodes that maybe didn't get as much many listens.
Right.
I'll just kind of put it back, you know what I'm saying? But that's another thing, bro. It's like, organic promo.
Yeah.
There's two ways you can do it. You can pay, where, you can go on Facebook or Instagram. You could pay $5-10 a day.
Yeah.
And to get them to push your shit for you.
That's all it costs. Is I always assumed that it was expensive.
It's as much as you want. I mean, if you balling, you want to do $40 or $50 a day or something, that shit will go everywhere. But if you do something small, it's gonna kind of give you like a geographical location for where you can push it. But even then,
areas.
like I think I spent $35 in like 1 week, and I got 35 followers that I didn't know. I'm like, not about to pay $1 a person. You know what I'm saying? But like some of these famous folks who do it, they pay for that shit.
Do they?
Hell yeah. How else? That's just like if you on Instagram, you scrolling and you need some shoes, and you say, "Oh, I want a new pair of New Balance 990s or something," and you got that advertisement thing on your phone, you probably should turn it off. And next thing you know, you're in the settings. Just type in fucking in the settings and
I'm
type
talking
in
about like
advertising.
when I go to my Instagram, I need him to stop listening.
Yeah, you just go to your settings. It's in your microphone. It's a setting on your phone that's how they do that.
Business.
But they pay for that. They pay for that promo. Like, ooh,
they ain't paying
this
me.
This is what he want. No, the people who sending the product out.
I know.
They paying for that shit. Or you can do it organic, where it's a tortoise race, but you know what I'm saying. You'll appreciate it more once you blow up. So I've done both.
I'd rather it be more organic, only because my journey into podcasting. The very first podcast and the only podcast that I consistently listen to every time they put it out is this podcast called The Read, which is
I think I've seen it on Spotify.
Yeah, they're very, very popular, but it's like a funny podcast, but it also like touch on like real issues, and they listen to it or whatever. But I was put onto that through one of my friends from college. One day we was driving back from Norfolk back to DC, and she just put it on and was like, listen to this. And we played maybe like 5 or 6 episodes on the way back up here, and I had been hooked from there. But what made me want to do it was because me and my friends, when we talk to each other, it kind of like seems like you kind of, get to be in a session of therapy, like where you're not being viewed by the things that you say. Nobody is judging you. You don't feel like when you leave that everybody is talking about you. So that kind of made me want to do it. And then a lot of people kept saying, Shawn, you would be really good at podcasting. Because one thing I can do is I can talk. Yep. I will fucking talk.
So what's the name of it?
So the name of my podcast is called Drunkin Therapy. And it's with a best friend of mine, and one of my favorite cousins. So it's the three of us. Me and my best friend are gay men, and then my cousin is a straight female. So, you had the way that the podcast is going to lay out is it's going to be three different points of views on the same question, but we want to make it funny. We want to invite listeners to ask questions that they might want to hear the answers to, respond to some of the things that we bring up. But what we basically do is we talk about things that most people would talk about with their friends, where you wouldn't talk about it on a public platform.
Okay.
So what my nervousness has come from is I feel like once we put it out, that we're going to be judged because people are only going to hear whatever we put out and then judge us based on that when you really don't know us. So that's been like a fear of mine.
But how you going to know that though?
Well,
I mean, unless people are leaving comments, how you going to know?
Yeah, and that's the thing. The thing is because I'm a Virgo, I overthink everything. So that's how I got to once we put it out, people was going to assume X, Y, and Z, and make up whatever story in their head about who we are. And in order for me to get over that, I feel like I just need to go ahead and just put it out because people gonna judge you irregardless. And I feel like we have a place in podcasting because it's going to be similar to podcasts that people listen to, but it's also me. I mean,
okay. So you're gonna have a topic specific then?
Yeah.
So it's gonna be specifically LGBT.
No. So the thing about the LGBT part is you're going to hear it from our perspective because a lot of times we get overlooked. People assume what LGBT people think or how we move and as if we're any different than anybody else. And with that being said, when we ask the questions, you'll probably respond to the question the same way that I would. The only difference is I'm a gay man and you're a straight man. You know what I'm saying? But people who don't really have somebody from the LGBT community like in their life personally, they do not understand where we come from. Like, I'm just as normal as everybody else. The only difference is sexually we prefer different things.
Yeah. You got a couple of weirdos like type deal. Yeah, you do got that going. I mean, I definitely,
and I like to fight, so they can fuck with me if they want to.
I mean, I definitely think it's definitely a lot of stuff you can cover in there. I think that's something that'll be ongoing. I don't think that would like dry up.
Yeah.
That was one of my fears. Originally my podcast was just gonna be on motorcycle shit. But my man's just like, don't limit yourself.
Yeah.
He's like, because that she's like, what if all of a sudden you go out here, you hurt yourself, or you don't have the money to do it, then it ran dry. So I just like to keep it fresh, man. I want my shit to be a conversation. I want to feel like if you're a listener, I want to feel like you sitting in this chair and you having a conversation with me.
Absolutely.
So tell me your setup. What you got? Your equipment, your area. What you doing? What you doing all this?
So mine's isn't as professional as this shit here.
Don't worry. This is all materialistic. Don't worry about that.
This level of perfectionism is very much on trend for a Virgo. Like, I want to go out and buy all this shit today, and I ain't even started my podcast. But so I have a soundboard and I bought it as like a package on
what's the brand?
Amazon. It's called Soundcraft.
Okay.
So it came with the soundboard. It came with the connections for both my mics and my headphones, and the mics and the headphones and all of that came together. Now my mics is not as good as these. They look like some church mics. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna hold it in your hand and it's gonna be. And I went out and I bought the arms that you put on the table or whatever, just so that it could look a little bit better, because the Virgo in me just needs some shit that look like something.
Okay.
Because I don't have a studio.
Okay. So, and you shooting it in the living room, kitchen?
It's literally in the dining room of my cousin's house. So it's going. I want to go through the stage of just starting and putting it out, and I'm not really concerned about the quality. I'm definitely concerned about the sound quality, but I'm not concerned with it sounding professional from the beginning, because we're gonna need time to like make up whatever flaws that we have.
Absolutely.
So the things that I got definitely is good. I had to go out and buy a new MacBook because the one that I had was older, and so after like a month or so, my stuff would not work like on my laptop. So I went and got another one.
You made an investment on yourself. So you know, you don't have to do it right away. But because you're starting in 2021, I would definitely figure out what you want to do as far as making it a business, a LLC.
Yeah.
I would say definitely, really go over that with your colleagues and see if this is what we really want to do, because it's a business. So it's like all of y'all are in it. You know what I'm saying? So if this person don't want to do the shit later on down the line, then it's like, well, you tied to the business. So I don't know if you want to, if you came up with it and hold on. Sorry, folks. If you want, it's the ginger ale. I don't know if you want to go into it because you created the name and you want to be the owner, and then maybe they be your employees type deal. I mean, I went through LegalZoom. They'll go over the whole shit with you if you're not sure to have those options. That way, if you need to take somebody off or add somebody else on, and you never know.
Right.
Definitely do it. Just do that shit, man.
I'm ready. I mean, the thing is we have been doing this podcast thing for over like a year and a half. So when the pandemic hit, we put a pause on it, but we had just had our first listening party last January the 23rd. I remember you told me that. And we got some really positive feedback. At the time, the way that our show is structured, like in the beginning, we talk about like, current news stuff and things like that. Then we go to like our topics that we're going to talk about. It's not one specific topic. Like we'll go over a number of questions. Yeah. And everybody get to respond. And then it will go into the last segment, which was my segment of self-care. Because a lot of times for especially Black people, we are only worried about what am I going to do tomorrow to survive? You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. You don't really do what you need to do mentally or physically to care for yourself. So it's kind of been that way. But what the feedback that we got was basically we needed to tone down the politics. Like people didn't want to keep hearing about Donald Trump, which I can definitely understand. But at the time, that was the only thing that was going on. And when we was recording, that was when he was going through his impeachment. Mm-hmm. So they felt like it dragged on a little bit long, but long story short, it was a success in terms of like people was like, put this shit out now. And then shortly thereafter, the pandemic started and we took a break. So now we're back and we're about to put it out. So my point in saying that is the journey has been long and I'm ready, but I have to face my fears. And the fact that you have your podcast out and been running for so long is the reason why I wanted to come on here, because first of all, you've had, many a guests on here, they good around the house. You know what I'm saying? Now you got the best. Here we are.
I got yours. Don't smack the table and shit. We need to keep it crisp.
Oh, my bad. But yeah, so it's a structured show, and you know what I'm saying? We're going to touch on things that most people don't like to talk about, just because everybody's personal views don't align with one another. You probably wouldn't be friends with some people.
But that's what people want. Like, people want... They want this version of the story. They want that version of the story. They want your point of view. They want her point of view. That's what they want. If everybody shit sound the same, then it's like, what's the point? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, number one, put the shit out.
Can't wait.
Just put it out. Like, then figure out, what day you want to record. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That was the question that I wanted to ask you, which you answered. But when you first started, did you have like a group of days? Like, say like you at first you said you was recording on Sundays. Mm-hmm. So would you do like between Friday and Sunday you would record, or was it specifically
just one day?
So do you still do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I come in. My goal is to whoever my guest is going to be, or if it's going to be, I have my little notepad here. I just make a few bullet points on what topics I want to hit. Yeah. I don't write specifically what I want to say, because then it sounds like a script. Yeah. I want my shit to be raw. You know what I'm saying? And my goal is to, the kids upstairs, they taken care of. Yeah. Don't come in the basement. If you don't need to come down here, don't come down here. I've had instances where my daughter has came in live recording and we just kind of rolled with it. And I'm like, hey, say hi, boo. And then get out of here. Yeah. And then we just keep going. The goal is to not stop. Yeah. And to not have that pause moment where you just like, you like, like that's the goal. Right. The goal is to not do that. And that's going to take time. Right. That's going to take time. With three people, you got to like say you saying something, you got to kind of like, like a head nod or like some eye contact, or a tap on the table, because you don't want to be talking over each other. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because like these are all the things that are going to have motherfuckers like, all right, they doing too much. Yeah. Let me back out of this. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is like, it's like a back and forth. you want to please people, but you don't. But you kind of don't want to please people. It's like I can't keep trying to do this because this is what you want to hear. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Your main objective is to put the content out consistently. You know what I'm saying? For your sound quality to continue to get better.
Yeah.
And to not worry about the download. So what's gonna happen is you're gonna put it out. You'll make an announcement. Hey, podcast coming out is dropping this Friday or something like this.
Right.
Them first 1 or 2, 3 episodes, all your people's just gonna listen.
Yeah.
But then when you start getting to 10, 11, 12, 15, 31 episodes, you know what I'm saying? They start to trickle off a little bit.
Gotcha.
And now you got to be like, okay, well, what can I do to get people that don't know me to listen?
Exactly.
And that's when your social media,
right?
Like, you know, that's when if you're gonna do organic promotion,
right? You
got to be pushing it on the social media. Not hard enough that you drown it out.
Yeah.
But like, you know, you could get like Audiogram. If you don't have it, you should probably download that. It's a free joint. It's a free app, and it link it to your podcast. And when you put your podcast out, say if you put it out today, tomorrow morning it'll send you an email saying your automatic clip is ready. And it'll be like it'll be your logo. You can have like a little graph on the joint. It'll be you talking. It'll be like 30 seconds. And then you can hashtag, you know.
Oh, you saying that they do that for promotion purposes?
Yes, you can use that for promotions. Like if you ever went to my Instagram story and you just seen my logo and you see me talking.
Yeah.
That's an audiogram. You know what I'm saying? Or you can do like a IG. Well, yeah, I would just say do that because you're not doing video yet. You can do shit like that, but you're definitely gonna have to post clips. You're gonna have to really push it. I mean, I made a Facebook page. I don't really necessarily know if it's really that effective.
Yeah.
And a TikTok.
I'm not ticking or talking. I'm
but
old
listen,
as shit.
listen. I felt the same way. Believe it or not, TikTok will be your quickest way to get organic followers.
If you think I'm about to bunny hop across the
No, you just do the audio.
Oh, okay.
Bro, you know, listen. So I've been on TikTok for a few weeks.
Really?
And what I noticed is, you know, I'm goofy, so I'm gonna put goofy shit on there. But it's like if I want to do podcast shit, I'll do a podcast and just name a hot song right now. Like some Gunna or some like, you know, some Drake or some shit.
I don't listen to the radio.
So I put let's say Drake got a real fucking popular song out. I would literally just post my logo of my podcast and say streaming on all platforms and have the Drake song playing. Because that's such a popular song that everyone is using to make their TikToks, it'll pop up on your For You page. People will look at it and they'll say, they'll click on your page and click the YouTube link or your link tree. And then boom, next thing you know, somebody may have just listened to your shit for maybe 30 seconds.
Yeah.
That counts as a download. It counts as a view.
As a listen,
So, you know, some people say Linktree works. I mean, LinkedIn. I'm like, I don't know about that shit. But you're gonna have to utilize all of that shit your goal is to get people that you don't know to listen.
Exactly.
That's your goal.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You know, your family and your friends are cool, but your most supportive listeners will be motherfuckers you don't know.
I honestly, because of the way that our show is structured and the things that we talk about, I would prefer for my family not to listen because then it'll be too far in my fucking business.
Yeah.
I need some people that don't know me to listen to it.
Yeah.
And like I was saying, in terms of like the LGBTQ thing, the reason why I wanted to bring that up and talk about it is because if you can hear my voice, you can definitely tell that I'm gay. But people judge us based on what they see without knowing us. And the biggest problem is straight people be smoothing our business. Mind your business. If you're not gay or bisexual, whatever, do your thing. We're not in y'all business, so stay the hell up out of our business. Now, if you do want to get to know us, you can definitely ask the question. Don't just assume.
Yeah.
And a lot of times that's what happens is it's assumed that, you know, whatever you assume or whatever you was told or heard is what you believe. And that's not the truth.
Yeah. You know, I did to touch on that, man. I actually think I'm glad that, you know, all three of my sisters are either gay or bisexual. So it's like, I understand. So it was just like something that's just like, well, what's going on? Then when it was broken down to me, I was like, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, this, you know, it is what it is. I mean, it's just a regular person to me. You know what I'm saying? But there's definitely a lot of people out there that's just like, what the fuck y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, people, you know, grow up in them households where it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you better come up in here with a woman, or you better come up in here. You better come in here with a man. Like, I know some folks.
Yeah.
who say, they would disown their kids if they found out. And I was just like, I was like, bro, why even put that into the atmosphere?
Why?
You just handle that shit if it
When
does or
if,
doesn't
yep.
happen, then you just
Yep.
handle it from there. But don't speak no premature shit. You know what I'm saying?
I'm so glad that you said that, because the thing is I was blessed and I'm fortunate enough that, that didn't happen with me, and my family accepted me openly. Like, I have every family member that I have does know that I'm gay, and they don't judge me for it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm appreciative, because that's not everybody's story. And when people running around and judging a gay person based on the decisions that they make, you have to think about the things that they probably dealt with at their house. Like, you do have people who, like, for instance, the thing about women is they love to have a gay friend.
Absolutely.
But they don't want their child to be gay. You need to focus on that. Think about that for a second. Why is it okay for you to have a gay friend, but you don't want your child to be gay? What is going on? That's something that you need to focus on. Also, I feel like a lot of the reason why it's men that's still like on the down low or whatever has a lot to do with their family and how they will perceive it. And also, sad to say, because I love my black women to death, but it's because of black women. If a man is bisexual and he tells a girl that he's interested in that he also likes men, but he's attracted to you sexually, he would fuck you and this, that, and the third, the woman would stop talking to him because you talk to men. But what's wrong with him being comfortable in his sexuality? So you know what that makes him do? Not tell you. Then when a woman finds out about it, they feel a way and label them as gay when that's not what they are. They like both men and women. But because they like men, you won't talk to them, so then that makes them not tell you about that part. And it forces them to be in the closet. So if women would start to realize that their voice matters a lot more than they think, then things would change. But, not to kind of focus on that, but I brought that up because I want your listeners to know that if they do listen to my podcast, you're going to hear things that you probably don't want to hear, and it's coming from gay men. You get what I'm saying?
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man.
So,
look, somebody got to highlight that shit, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody got to highlight it, But that's what I'm talking about the content, man. You like keep the good content, bro. Like, the listeners will stay. Like, they will stay with you.
Yeah.
And don't take no fucking break. I don't know how often you plan on putting them out. If you're going to put them out every 2 weeks, put them shits out every 2 weeks.
I plan on putting it out every week.
If you're going to do it every week, you need to put it out every other week. Like, you blessed me today. You ain't even know, because I literally, we was out of town. We was in Georgia for New Year's.
Okay.
And I wasn't going to have no guests because I was like, well, I want to self-quarantine for a little bit. But it has been a week.
Yeah.
It's really been 10 days.
Yeah.
And I was like, when you pulled up the day, you was like, oh, we could do this. I was like, fuck, you just saved the day. Because I had made an announcement and everything. Hey, I'm not going to put out. I know motherfuckers like, God damn it. So you saved me. You know what I'm saying? I definitely appreciate you for that. And definitely for you to get on here to, promote your stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that because this was a push that I needed, because I've been doing my podcast thing, and to get back to you saying don't take no breaks, I took a whole year off. That's it.
I'm telling you, bro, like,
I'm applying
take no
pressure
breaks, though.
all 2021. You niggas is gonna feel me when I come through. I'm storm through this motherfucker, and that's on period.
So what else you need to know? What I mean, I got plenty of gems. I got plenty of stories. We can talk equipment, whatever you want to talk about, man.
So what do you think was your biggest challenge in terms of podcasting that you feel like could have stopped you from doing it?
Stopped me? Money.
Okay, so I agree with that.
Shit expensive. Look. Let me tell you something. This table was $120 on fucking Facebook Marketplace. Yeah. These mic stands was $25 a piece. This fucking Zoom PodTrack P4 was $200.
I need these mics.
These Rodecaster Pro mics or Rode Procasters, whichever one. These shits was $230 a piece. Oh these two lights was goddamn $30 a piece. This house was $400 and some change. All this artwork, these LED lights, these fucking chairs. I mean, it's money. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You will invest a lot of money, especially if you catch fire. Yeah. You will invest a lot of money in this shit, and podcasting don't pay you shit. Yeah. You just this is your hobby. Like, I need you to know that, because a lot of people come in. I'm in this podcasting group, podcast movement. It's on Facebook. I mean, I don't know how often you on Facebook, but for
That's
that
an evil
group,
place.
they be dropping some fucking gems in there. Like
I might have
a
to
lot of shit that I learned in there. And some people ask the same questions every day.
Yeah.
They'll ask about monetizing, making money. They'll ask about which platform should you use, if it's Anchor, if it's fucking Zencaster, if it's Buzzsprout, if it's Libsyn. You know, there's all of these sites that you can use to broadcast your shit. They'll ask about promotion. They'll ask about Linktree. I use Linktree because it's just easier for me when you start, if you're gonna go on Anchor, they'll let you know, hey, your podcast is on Spotify now. It's on Google Podcasts. It's on fucking Breaker. It's on Radio Public. And you can put that shit on Linktree, and it's just one link. And when they click it, everything pops up, and they can click whichever one they want to listen to.
Oh, that's what that is.
Yeah. A lot of people don't be wanting to click on it. They're like, what is this, some fucking bot shit or something? No.
Yeah.
It's just an easier way for me to say, hey, I'm on these 11 sites.
Yeah.
Here's the link for all of them. No, you got one, and you just press the fucking button to take you there.
Good God.
You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna put a lot of money into it, but they ask, they ask about microphones. They ask about audio interfaces.
Yeah.
Like this is the first episode I've done with this audio interface. My biggest thing I always get hit on. My man Glenn called me all the time. Shout to Glenn. I'd be like, bro, your shit sound too low. You told me the shit sound low. A lot of people be like, it sound low. Yeah. But I'm using a old ass MacBook Air, and I'm using GarageBand.
Yeah.
Trying to get all that shit on. But it's like now getting this was only $200. I wanted to get the Rodecaster Pro interface, which is like $600. And I was just like, I just couldn't. Yeah. I was like, I can't spend $600. Like it does everything, but it's just small. I can put this shit in my back pocket and come to your fucking house
keep it
and record.
Yeah.
So definitely put yourself in a position where if you need a quick answer, you can't get it from me. You can get it from somebody. And people are really like. People are like really welcoming, and they actually answer you. Like I'm in a lot of Facebook groups, and when people ask the same questions, they be like, "Oh fuck, this nigga asking the same shit again." Like go back a few threads. No, people will legitimately come in there and give you detailed answers.
Yeah, because the thing that I have been facing a lot is. I went to school for computer technology, but this is something totally different. So I understand how a computer works.
This is communication and broadcasting.
Absolutely. So it's like a number of factors that you have to pay attention to. Very first is definitely the sound quality. Like I need it to sound good.
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't, then what is it? But a lot of the things that I run into is like I don't know how to edit a podcast. All I know is I know how I like to speak. I like to give advice. I like to talk about different things. So that made me want to step into this lane. But a lot of things that I don't know, I come to you for. And the main reason why I came over here before we even started recording was so I can get some advice from you about what to do. And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because if I didn't have you, or if it wasn't people like the people on your Facebook group to give that advice, we would all literally be stuck at go.
Exactly.
So,
but you got to do that research, man. You know the best place to go?
Where?
YouTube.
Yeah, that's
YouTube University, man. Always comes in the clutch, dog.
Let me tell you something. When I ordered my equipment, I didn't know what to do with it. I went smooth to YouTube, and I mean, I replayed the same one over and over because you can literally look up what you paid for, and somebody did a video for it. And I mean, I kept rewinding until I got it. So now I can like literally put my stuff together with my eyes closed. But in the beginning, that shit looked like foreign language.
Hell yeah. It's hard. You know, I always kind of dabbled in computers when I was younger. But it was just like, this was different, man. It was just like, damn, I can make this sound like this. Yeah. Or I can add this chime, and I can make a fucking joke. hit the little fucking button. I can do some goofy shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I haven't even got into the sound pad and all that shit because I want to try to get my intro on the sound pad so I don't have to use. I'm trying to just get rid of GarageBand altogether so I don't have to use it. That'll be, a couple episodes down. But man, the more you put into it, it is going to be rewarded. So if you just putting bullshit together, you won't give a fuck how it sounds. You got fucking shit crackling in the background. And you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers showing up late. You know what I mean? Y'all talking about the same shit. Like that. It's all on what you put into it. You know what I'm saying? So like, I mean, I already know you can do it. But it's just like, continue to ask the questions. Like, it's okay to ask the same shit.
I can't wait to put it out. It's going to be coming out shortly. Just because we just restarted. I just got my new
When is
MacBook and
shortly?
stuff. Probably in like the next month or so. Only because we want to get back into our groove of the three of us. Is we really good together. First of all, shout out to my co-host. Her name is Bossy, and my best friend name is London, who's on the podcast with me, and they very lit. And we're all three different people, like with three different.
So
opinions.
why a month though? That sounds pretty long just to put something out. I mean,
Well, we want to make sure because we took a year off that we comfortable with. Because when we first started, we could not get past the fact that we're talking into a microphone, so it was weird for a minute, like until we could like get past that. Because when we first started, we had that real big podcast microphone that come with the little thing around it. And then we switched it to the mic. So it took a minute to adjust from one to the other. But in the beginning, we had to get over the fact that we're recording because we so used to having these conversations amongst ourselves. Yeah. Which is the reason why we came up with doing the podcast.
Oh, so you more so just the personal conversations, really putting it out in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it's literally us being us, but we have to still be comfortable because we know we're recording. So we need to get back structured to doing it, like you said, whatever day of the week we decide is when we're going to record every single week. So that's why I'm saying it's going to take probably like a month because we need to get back adjusted to that because we all have different lifestyles. You know what I'm saying? We all work in different arenas. We have different days that we're on and we're off of work. You know what I'm saying? And other things.
Well, definitely make sure that time is together. If you even have the slightest doubt that y'all not going to be able to do it every week, I would definitely say start bi-weekly. And once it picks up, then do it weekly because it's like I'm telling you, dog. Like nothing gonna burn you more than if somebody can't make it for whatever reason, and it's like fuck. Now we can't do this because if you do it every 2 weeks, you can record whenever. And then just put it out. Right. You know what I'm saying? But once you get in that groove where, damn, I want to talk about this, I want to talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Then you can go weekly. And also make little snippets in the beginning. Like kind of how like I was doing in Instagram stories. Like do shit like that. Like give the people something to sit on until you drop the episode. You know what I mean? Definitely. Like don't just leave them high. That's an issue. That's my issue I'm dealing with now. I put out an episode. I'll go out Monday morning, say, bloody doody doot, new episode out. And then I may put a snippet out that same day, and then boom, I'm just on to the next episode. Like you can't really do that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta give the people something in the middle of the week, or like a question. What do you think about this? Like engage with your listeners. Like force them to engage with you. And then next thing you know, oh man, I was listening to Drunkin Therapy, man. You got to check that shit out, and then people will promote that shit for you.
Yeah, that's literally how I found out about podcasts in general. I mean, it's been years now, but that's how I found out too. It was literally word of mouth. It wasn't like I went searching for anything. So, my question to you is: when you edit, does it take a long time? Like, is it
the video does?
Okay.
Audio is pretty quick now. Like I said, this Zoom Power Track 4 has already saved me probably 10 of the 15 minutes it takes me to do editing because now all I have to do is just put it on GarageBand, add my fucking intro and outro music, which is the same joint.
Got you.
I don't have to adjust any volumes, any sound. It's already louder. It's already 10 times louder.
Yeah, because
I just export it to disk. And once it, it'll go through and normalize it, get the sound together. Once that happens, I just put it on Anchor and send it out. But the goal is to just cut fucking GarageBand out completely. And then just transfer it, to the computer, put it on there and go. Now, video is a whole different beast, bro, because what I used to do is, now I'm using my phone, my Galaxy S20 Ultra. That's what I use to record. Great fucking phone.
You left iPhone to go back to Android. You too.
The last Android I had was the motherfucking Sprint touchscreen. That was like fucking 10, 20 fucking years ago, some shit like that.
Oh my God! Don't tell them how old we are.
Yeah, I'm old out here. But so what I was doing initially was I would just take the phone, hit share, put it on YouTube. But then what happens is you hear a lot of echo. Yeah. So man, he was like, bruh, like. You paid all this money for these mics. They need to hear the mic. Yeah. Audio and video. Yeah. So what you got to do is you got to take the audio that you recorded. Mm-hmm. You got to go to iMovie because you got a Mac. Yep, download that.
Oh, my God, that's why I'm not even ready for that taste.
That's why you need that external hard drive. Take up a lot of space. So you take that, put the video on there, and then you put the audio on. So then you would go and go to it. Yeah, you gotta layer it. So you take the volume. Well, you would leave the volume on initially, but you gotta sit there and line up the audio with the mouth, which can take a long fucking time because you may think that, I got it exact. Yeah. And then you go halfway through and then it's off. Yeah. So now you got to go back and you got to find it. You got to figure out what can I do to get this shit lined up perfectly the whole way. Once you get it, you take the volume on the video, boop, turn it off. Yep. Then you take the audio for, the audio. Just bring, it's like 100%. I'll probably put mine on like 140% or something just to give you that extra volume. Then you dress the shit up and you got to fucking upload it to YouTube. If you're going to do HD like I do, that shit going to take like 4 or 5 hours.
You were on episode 31. When did you start doing video with your podcast?
I did video probably my 9th or 10th episode. I started doing video
early on.
Yeah, because I mean, once I started having guests, this shit was so much easier. Yeah. Once I started having guests, and then it was people that I knew, it was so much easier. Like my one guest, buddy Jonathan, he was on here. He was talking about gun violence. It's called Battles. Yeah. He was the first person I had on that I didn't know that well. You know what I'm saying? Knew him through somebody. Just kind of seen him here and there over the years. So I thought that his episode was one of my best I've done because it challenged me.
That's until this one come out. No, let me stop.
Yeah, until we drop this one, you know what I'm saying? But it was a challenge for me, but the conversation was so good, it was genuine. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really this story had really touched me, like, damn, bro. Just nothing burns me when something happened to somebody, had nothing to do with it, you know what I'm saying? But just that, getting to having guests. Like, do you plan on having guests down the line?
So like I told you, we've been doing it for a minute. So we have some guests already recorded. The only thing is, and I think that we may try to use some of that footage. I mean, the audio that we have. But I've had a couple of people come on. I'm gonna definitely have to have you come on when we like get in our groove. But in the beginning, it's just gonna be us because we
you want to set the foundation. You want to set your personality. Right. So that's why I didn't have any guests until then. Aiden was my first guest.
I remember that one too.
And Aiden for a while, he would literally he'd be listening to the episode every day in the shower. He had his phone on the joint. He'd be listening to the episode. So I get all my views from a little man.
Support. And that's what we need. Some support.
I really want to get YouTube, man. But YouTube is like, in order for them to start paying, you got to have 1,000 fucking followers and you got to have 4,000 hours of content before they even start paying you. Anchor will say, "Oh yeah, we'll pay you now." And you'll get out here and you'll push their fucking, hey, you do like a 30-second video saying, hey, you can use Anchor, blah 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 blah. Right. Bruh, you get $15 per 1,000 downloads. So just letting you know, for the 31 episodes I put out, I haven't even made $50 yet.
So what's the highest amount of listeners you've had today?
One episode? Mm-hmm. I've had over 200 on my episode Battles. I had over 200.
Okay, so that's pretty lit.
That's the most I've had.
So this is so you started in June?
Started in the June.
So about 6, almost 7 months.
Yeah. So when I started, I had about probably 75 to 80 consistent listeners. Okay. Then the numbers kind of started to go down to the point where I was maybe down to like 40. Right. But the reason why the numbers went down was because I started doing the YouTube. So the people migrated to YouTube. Got you. So I didn't really lose anybody. So now I've got maybe 60, 65 people on YouTube, and I've got probably 65, 70. So it's gone up a little bit. Gotcha. So it just shows you, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just got to keep putting the content out. Like, I'm telling you, when you start rolling, when this shit be a groove, and let you put some shit out late. Yeah. Let you put some shit out a day late. Motherfuckers gonna be like, hey, what the fuck y'all doing over there?
Absolutely. I agree.
That's what you want though. That's what'll give you that fire them days when you don't feel like putting shit out. Yeah. They be like, damn, they waiting on me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like you on a stage, you about to perform, and they calling your fucking name, and you late. You want some Lauryn Hill shit. You late. You know what I mean?
Your chakras gotta be aligned. They have to be. So my biggest thing that I'm gonna have to get over, and I don't know if it's just because I'm older and I didn't really grow up in the, like, I didn't go to high school and stuff in the age of, social media. My social media is like,
Dry.
first of all, I don't go on it because niggas lie every day and I don't have the fucking time. But my social media, I know it's going to be like the biggest way to reach people, but mine's is closed. Like I don't let people that I don't know follow me, so I'm going to have to open my page.
It's gonna be public,
which is going to be different for me because anybody at that point can comment on.
It was hard for me too. It was hard because my page was always private.
Yeah.
When I was just doing the Instagram skits, my page is public now, but it just says my captain's log page, and I mean I still post whatever I want. You know what I'm saying? I haven't had any rant unless I get like some bots. Get on there or send me a message. Hey, sexy daddy.
Oh my god.
OnlyFans.
You know what I've been
getting
getting a lot is them damn scammers. Like they be talking about, do you want to make some money? You're not getting none of my money.
You know what you're gonna get. You know what you're gonna get, and they're not scammers, but it's gonna be annoying. You're gonna get a lot of graphic designers saying, "Hey, I can do a logo for you."
Oh, got you.
I can do this, and I mean, it might be legit. I mean, you go to their page, they legitimately do logos.
Yeah.
But you're gonna get a lot of that. You're gonna get a lot of people wanting to collab with you for apparel and shit. All that shit to me is bot shit, and I either don't respond or I say not interested.
My thing is I have to get used to just the podcast and don't throw all this other stuff.
Well, you need to start social mediaing more now. You need to don't wait until you do the podcast.
Well,
and
they've told me.
You got to start doing that now. You know what I'm saying?
That. So I'm a once we start doing it consistently, I'm gonna definitely open it up and I'm gonna definitely start promoting it more. My thing is for right now, I feel comfortable with, even though I don't really want my family and friends to listen to it.
So why don't you just make an Instagram page strictly for the podcast?
That's exactly.
Then you can keep your shit.
I thought about that. I thought about how
it's a pain in the ass, though. I'm just letting you know.
Absolutely. I thought about that. I thought about how we got to come up with an email address for it. A website, all of the things.
Why?
Because I'm a Virgo. I overthink every fucking thing.
You can do that shit now. I don't have no web page.
Listen.
You do that shit. Listen. Do that shit down the road. Like this too many. You putting too many unnecessary obstacles in front of you. You don't need all that shit. And that's what's
making me scared about it.
Record the shit
exactly
and put it out.
That's how I'm glad you said that shit to me.
That's it. Just put it out. I'm giving you the same spiel that I got.
Yeah.
Just minus the curse word. Just record it and put it out. Definitely. Listen to it. Go back and say, okay, I need to fix this.
Yeah.
Record it. Put it out.
Yeah.
Record it, put it out. That's the only thing that you need to be worrying about.
Yeah.
You can, even the social media, you can address that shit later. Put the content out and put it out now.
I definitely, I'm
I really don't think it take you no fucking month to get that shit together. I expect it in 2 weeks. It's up to you, but I'm saying I feel like in 2 weeks you should be.
It's the pressure.
I feel like in 2 weeks y'all should be. It's three of y'all. Y'all should be able to give the world something. It shouldn't take that fucking long.
Yeah. So in the beginning, I don't think I'm going to edit it. So it's just going to be real.
I mean, as long as y'all don't stop for any reason, you shouldn't have to. Your microphone. You say you got condenser mics. Yeah. I mean, that's something you'll have to address along the way. Even if you got to buy one mic at a time, somebody just going to have a condenser mic.
Yeah.
But you have settings on your soundboard that you can try to clean that shit up as much as you can. So again, do the research on what the equipment you have. On how do I make this condenser mic sound good?
Yeah.
You ain't gonna be able to do so much, but you can do.
Because it's an open space.
You can do enough that the shit won't be like. You can do enough that you don't hear everything in the background. I had a condenser mic, and you can hear the goddamn furnace. You can hear the fan. You can hear everything.
Right.
And I just slowly started. One mic here, one mic there. Now I have 3. Probably gonna have 4 towards the middle of the year, but. Put this shit out. Just put it out, dog. Like, just trust. Just put it out in the atmosphere. Trust yourself. You know what I'm saying? Put it out.
Yeah.
That's the best advice I can give you.
I gotta get out of my own head.
Yeah, just put it out, dog.
Out of my own way.
You can put out an introduction. Put an intro out. Hey, this is what we doing.
That's a good
we just
idea.
testing it out. Yeah, you should definitely put an introduction out.
Definitely.
You put out an intro. And you just kind of let people know who you are.
Yeah.
This is me. Just give them a quick little, your little biography of yourself or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And your co-hosts or your hosts. And then y'all do that and boom, it's done.
Yeah.
Then from there, you do another one. You do 2 in one day. Put 2 out at once. That's what I did. I put an intro and I put my father's episode out at the same time. So when it was time for me to do the next one, I was already warmed up.
Yeah.
Just put the shit out, dog.
So as soon as you started putting it out, you always been consistent every week?
Hell yeah. I put this shit out every week since June 2020.
Okay.
Just put it out, bro.
So the pressure is on, but I appreciate the advice, and the reason why I wanted to come on was because you have had everybody on here except for Barack Obama, and that's disrespectful.
Hey, you not gonna you ain't gonna let this go. I gotta put you back on.
You gonna have
10 more times.
The next time I come on here, we ain't talk about a motherfucking podcast. This shit gonna be lit. It's gonna be funny, and it's gonna be a good time. The next time. Okay. But I appreciate the advice. The only other question that I have for you is where do you see your podcast going? Like, what do you want it to do for the culture? Like, what is it?
Like I said, I'm still growing, man. I'm getting to a point where, I'm gonna have to either start going on other people's podcasts or bringing other podcasters on. Like some local folks here that I dabble with. I listen to Tequila Talk. And they do that shit look like in a living room. You know what I'm saying? But they this shit sound good. I listen to the most known unknowns, 3 or 4 guys on there. They be talking. There's a couple of them.
All these people was local?
Yeah, they local. Okay. They're local guys. Yeah, I would say look them up. And I mean, I look at their stuff, not like trying to steal their shit, but just to kind of see, what they talking about. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of whatever tips and tricks I can get from that. You know what I'm saying? But my goal is to get somebody local that's pretty popular,
gotcha.
On there, just to promote my shit.
Yeah.
Definitely to just maintain myself. Like the goal, I definitely would never want to lose myself and turn into somebody that I'm not.
Yeah.
Because like this shit was built around just my commute to work. So I would love to get back to that. Just going back to work and just, I will put shit out midday. Like, man, let me tell you about this shit. I definitely want to just learn to engage with my listeners more. You know what I'm saying?
So do you think that you would ever add a host? Or do you think it'll always just be you?
No.
Captain's log?
No.
You're the captain?
I get a lot of good feedback when my wife is on here with me. And, we had some pretty good talks. But I just feel like at the end of the day, it's like, not saying it's just my shit, leave me alone. Mm-hmm. But I feel like I can only count on myself. You know what I'm saying? Because even though we live in the same house, it may be, we may be beefing or she may have something to do, I'm something to do, and now we can't put nothing out.
Right.
So end of the day, I will always just have guests.
And that wouldn't be fair to your listeners. I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I appreciate you opening up your platform for me to even talk about mine and for you to give me the advice that you gave me. I hope that Captain's Log is every fucking thing that you wanted to be and more. And I feel like you on your way, cuz I'm appreciative. I look up to you in ways that you would never know. I've never told you, but I do.
You told me a couple times.
I have to.
But no, I get it, man. Listen, I just feel like that's my purpose at this point in my life. I'm 35, be 36 years old this year, man. So
you so old.
I'm old, bro.
I wish I was 30.
You know what I'm saying? But I fuck out of here. But I just gotta keep pushing the content, man. Yeah. But we're gonna wrap it up though, man.
Definitely.
I appreciate you coming on, man.
Thank you
know
so
what I'm
much,
saying?
because it was a good time.
Appreciate you coming on, indulging in a ginger ale with me. It would have been some whiskey, but it's like 12 o'clock. So
we need some Hennessy.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up, y'all. Episode 31. Special guest Shawn Richardson. Captain out.
Oh, hold on. Wait.
Whoa.
Y'all gotta follow me on Instagram.
Did you just interrupt the Captain out?
Yeah, you gonna have to redo that.
Clean it up. Go ahead. Go.
Follow me on Instagram at UberFlyGuy. Uber UBER Fly FLYY Guy GUYY.
You done?
And it's lit.
This nigga's never coming back for that shit.
Bye.
All right, Captain out.